Hello, good morning or good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for OmniTestingConf, and welcome to Sofia Neto's talk, Fearless Visibility. Sofia is the head of ecosystem experience here at Xray, and in her talk, she'll share how you can enhance a collaborative environment where quality is everyone's responsibility. She'll also share why an open and honest culture is critical to DevOps. During the talk, you can ask questions in the chat on the right side panel, and after the presentation, we'll have a quick 15-minute Q&A where Sofia will answer all of your questions. And with that, I'll hand it over to our speaker, Sofia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sofia, and I'm at Atlassian Solution for more than 50 years. Yeah, I know it's a lot of time. But once you meet Jira, you cannot live without it again. Well, I'm helping now our customers and partners to get the most out of Xray with the best experience possible. So I'm head of ecosystem experience for Xray. Well, I love to learn and share. So reach me out if you want to discuss about quality, collaboration, teamwork, DevOps, agile, or technology for social impact. So this is, I've been working in Tech for Good for a long time ago. It's one of my personal projects. So, well, let's warm up and begin with an exercise. So please select if you think you work in an organization with a collaborative mindset. So I'm talking not only about your team, but the whole organization. So from finance to operations. Think if you believe that you are working in a collaborative environment. And well, for now on, just let me say that when I mention team, I mean the whole team, not only the 3 or 6 people that you usually work with. So take time to go to the poll and vote if you think that you work in a collaborative mindset or not. So take time to do it, and we will see the results we will discuss about the results on during the Q&A. So why am I asking this? Well, I want to know if you are where you want to be. So I think that we all want to change from teams that only have visibility about their own work and only know what happens in their environment to teams that have a bird's eye view and see the whole value stream from business to customer feedback. So we want to move from teams that work in silos to teams that collaborate, that work together for a common purpose, bring value to the customer. So we want to change from people that don't share their knowledge and feel it like they're precious, to teams where knowledge sharing across the organization is part of the DNA. So we want to go from teams that keep their darkest secrets, opinions, mistakes, and failures locked inside an unknown vault to teams that open the door to share failures and their dark side and let the others and themselves to learn from it. So does this sound familiar? Yeah, maybe you've heard about these principles in a DevOps talk or in a DevOps conference, but let me say that this is not that easy. So it takes a lot of bravery to do this. It's not easy at all. So you need to be brave to share your work and let the others know what you're doing. To let the others know what is exactly you're doing, what is exactly you're trying to achieve, or what are the results. So you need to let your own goals behind and work in the pursuit of the team goals. You need to share what you know, invest time in sharing with others, and take the risk to be dispensable. So you also need to open the door of failure and have the audacity to make your dark opinions heard, and even take the risk of being discredited. Well, but this is exactly what it takes to build trust. And it takes fearless visibility to build trust. And why do we need to build trust? Okay, so one of the characters of one of my favorite books ever, just a personal note, I love to read, so you are going to hear a lot about books in this presentation. So the book is Phoenix Project, and I think Steve described this perfectly. So he says that only when you have trust, a magic dynamic exists. So only when you have trust, you will have a great and successful team. You don't have to be the smartest one, but you have to trust one another. So, but this is not that simple. A study from Atlassian let us know that 78% of the people that replied to this study don't fully trust their teammates. This was a study conducted by Atlassian, I think, in 2019, and I'm not sure if they repeat this again, but I have to say 78% is a lot. So I'm a little bit worried about this result. Only when you have openness and trust is possible to create a collaborative environment. So you really need to be working on building trust and have your work visible in order to achieve collaboration. So let's try to understand how can we crack the code for collaboration. So if you are building quality, so if you are working to build quality, you should be aware that quality is a team sport. Lisa Crispin has an amazing talk that she had delivered on a previous edition of OmniTestingConf, where she explains this idea. So if it is a team sport, so you need to be working to create a collaborative environment. So you need to have collaboration in place. Tests have an important role in breaking silos because quality is not one team domain. Having the whole team to share responsibility for the quality of the systems they build not only improves outcomes, but also accelerates learning. So testing must be collaborative, and testing tools should put developers, testers, and operations in the same tool and give them the ability to collaborate. So testers need to share their skills and empower the team. Well, testing is not done at once, and it's done through the whole loop from planning to operations and monitoring. This means that testers are no longer focusing on functional testing and features verification. They are instead also involved in operation testing, performance, and security, as well as being able to monitor and analyze production. So to achieve continuous development, we need to achieve continuous trust in our system. Therefore, we need to achieve continuous testing. Well, with continuous testing, we will have the ability to run a repeatable set of tests whenever we make a commit to the code repository. So this will provide us fast feedback that change that change specifically will not affect the product negatively. But this is not all. Continuous testing is also about caring. So it's also about carrying through the whole cycle. You are always caring about quality. So how can we build trust? How can we build an open team? Well, next I'm going to share with you some ideas on how to build trust and how to empower an open team. There are a lot of them that are pretty obvious and others that aren't. So please feel free to share using the chat your own practices. If you have done something similar or different that has achieved some great results. So the first one is to make your work visible. This is the first DevOps flow, and this is where you should start. So if you haven't done this yet, please do it. It will change your life and your team's life forever. There are several ways to make work visible. This, for example, is an image from a book that it's called Make Your Work Visible from Dominic de Grandes. And this is just an example of a simple board where you can see the workflow, so the status of the work that you need to deliver. And you have, for example, a division through colors, if it's something, for example, a request from the CEO, or if it's something that it has the goal is to fix the technical event. And this is an example of a physical board. I believe that teams that used to use physical boards struggle a little bit during COVID times. So I would love to hear what have you done, okay, to overcome this, because I think that the physical board works perfectly. But if you are working from home, I don't have any idea how you manage to use it. So share with me. So another example to make work visible is just use a regular spreadsheet. So this is a personal example. I have 3 kids, and sometimes it takes a lot of logistics to get things done. And my husband forgets really, really easily what we agreed. So I've built this kind of list to remind him, for example, when is his day to pick kids from school. Another example is Trello. So I love Trello. I was super happy when he joined Atlassian family. And I think it's a simple way to make your work visible and to share it with all the team. But if you need a more complete solution, you should be using Jira. So Jira enables you to provide visibility across the entire team. And if you are a tester, you should be sharing that information with the whole team as well. So ideally inside Jira. So to achieve this, you may use Xray, or that will help you make your work visible in many ways. You can share, for example, your test case with the whole team, and therefore promote a shared understanding in how the system should work technically in terms of business. You will have full traceability that will let you understand which tests are uncovered, which tests, for example, have bugs. And you can also have different views depending on the release and on the environment. Well, you can also make requirement status visible. For example, does the requirement has a tests associated or not? Did the requirements fail the last execution, or did the requirements pass all tests? So this will provide real-time information to developers and operations and will help you make decisions about releasing it or not. When you have the full visibility on test results, this is for manual tests and also from test automation, you don't need to go to different places to know that, because you have all the information inside the same place. So let me share with you a real story from my time as an Atlassian consultant. Well, I was working with an European agency, and the goal was to bring the entire value stream activity into Jira. We worked with several teams, including service validation team that was the one responsible for, or the main goal was to make sure that the systems were tested. By the time we were done with the project, visibility was tremendously improved. Testers and managers were able to track requirements and coverage, but just looking into a nice dashboard. And this was a huge difference for them, because they were used to use different tools, don't have the information all updated and stuff like that. So I'm telling this story about Jira, and I'm telling how great is Xray to help you as a tester to bring visibility to test management. And I also told you that I'm an Atlassian fan, but don't get me wrong, a tool is just a tool. What matters is what you are able to achieve with that tool. So it doesn't matter what you use, it matters if you increase the visibility, even if it is with a whiteboard and a pen. So also, increasing visibility has a huge impact, not only on building an open team, but also in increasing respect and trust. So when you know what people are doing, you tend to gain more respect about their time, their challenges, and you increase the trust you have in them. This means that making your work visible has two benefits. So it helps to build trust and it brings visibility. So the second one that you should be worrying about is to give free access to information. This might sound scary. Of course, if you are working in a high regulated market, you need to go by the rules. But when you give free access to information, when you share information, you are actually caring about your team. Sharing is caring. If you are able to think, when you create something, with whom can I share this? Who might have done this before? Who can I ask for help? So you are creating this kind of connections, and you are improving trust and openness. And this is something that starts with you. So there is no excuse for not doing it. Even if you are not working in a really collaborative environment. If you want it, you have to live it. So you need to be an influencer. You should start today, and you can do it to be a collaborative influencer, and others will follow you, believe me. So let me share a simple example on creating free access to information. Are you bold, for example, to implement an open door management meeting? Well, this is a meeting where anyone could join, and I know that most of us are now working remotely, and maybe this is difficult to accomplish, but you can, for example, invite everybody to the meeting and let anyone join the room, even if it's not really one of the main person to be there on the meeting. Another technique is the breakfast club. So gather your team, get them together for breakfast, for example, pick a subject and just discuss it. I know remotely this could be a little bit challenging, but you can try it, even if it's using remote tools. Well, Paul Courtney, that it's a knowledge management specialist, once told me that nothing brings people together like food, and amazing conversations can happen around food. And with the respect for my Portuguese traditions, I cannot agree more. So food can make a great conversation around it. The third tip that I have for you to build trust and openness is to embrace diversity. So when I talk about diversity, I'm not only talking about different gender, cultures, I'm also talking about different personalities. So having a different point of view not only increases the possibility to get it right, it also increases trust. Again, when you work in a diverse environment, people tend to achieve faster results. So it's 60% said that it's more likely to achieve more and faster. People are also more happy, and they feel that respect is important to the team's success. A tip to bring diversity is to do a fun exercise. For example, nominate one devil advocate. This person should be focused on arguing in the contrary direction than the rest of the team, and let the discussion start. And you will have a lot of fun doing this. Trust me. Finally, the final tip to crack the code for collaboration is to uncover failures. So in the DevOps culture, is essential to learn from failures and from experiments. Learning from failures can be part of the testing activities. Testing has a huge role in uncovering these failures and all the unknowns. So testers are used to deal with bad news. And learning from failure is something that it doesn't scare them at all. So having a culture of safety where it's safe to fail will lead to full visibility and knowledge about the bugs discovered for all the types of tests that you have accomplished during the full cycle. So being safe to fail is a characteristic of high-performance teams and essential to innovation. In this culture of safety, testing is no longer perceived as an unpleasant activity. So it's a learning activity. And there should be also space to conduct small experiments and get fast feedback on how the systems behave and how can they be improved. So testing has a great role in increasing trust, and delivering value to the customer is more than delivering it fast. It's all about quality. The Lisa Crispin again states that DevOps is about building a quality of culture, and testing really has a really big role in this. Learning from failure and experiment will also help you to become a master. There is a very well-known story about a manager in an IT company that committed a really big mistake that costs millions of dollars. And he went to the CEO to offer resignation. And the answer was something like that. So no way, I've invested millions of dollars for you to not make this mistake again. So I will not let you go. I think that it's quite impressive, because you think, okay, I did this huge mistake. I'm going to be fired, and the CEO had the opposed opinion, because the CEO understood that he invested millions of dollars for that person to learn and never do that again. And I love this story, because I think it explains perfectly what should be a culture of safety, a safety culture, okay? And a technique that you can use to unleash the ability of your team to learn from failures is the postmortems. You can do this not only for tech incidents, but for other kinds of incidents. For example, in the past, I did this for a sales incident where someone from sales had presented a very unrealistic proposal to the customer. And we ran a postmortem to see what have failed, how can we avoid this, what kind of changes do we need to do to our systems and processes. And it was a really powerful exercise. Another fun exercise is to write a letter where you're going to address it to the bug. So, you are going to be the bug. So you as a bug will write the letter telling, for example, how you managed to survive, saying goodbye to your loved ones, and letting them know that now you are dead. This is a fun exercise where you can be the bug that you have found. Well, we are talking a lot about how to improve collaboration for a long time, but why is this important? Well, because we want to create value to our customer sooner, with better quality and safety, and with the least pain possible from our customers, but also from the rest of our team. We don't want anyone to suffer, so we want happier. And this balance each other. You cannot have sooner by reducing the better and the happier. And this is the heart of the DevOps culture. So before wrapping up, let's talk a little bit more about speed. You may think that DevOps is focused on velocity and we need to automate everything. Even if automation takes a really big place, for example, in testing, that's not all. You will not solve your problems by only automating tests. You will not solve them if you will only solve them if you are enable of quality, if everyone invests in building quality in. So only if you have native quality. And as Lisa Crispin states, if we focus on quality, we can go faster in the long run. And we are not only going faster, but we are also building trust. We'll go more confident that we are bringing value to our customers. So going faster, building trust, and collaborate to generate value is definitely part of the DevOps culture. So we are talking a lot also about the benefits as a team, but there's also benefits as an individual. So individuals feel more respected, more engaged, and they are willing to learn and improve constantly when they are working in a collaborative environment. So lasting collaboration takes teams and individuals' effort. We must focus on uncover mistakes and failures, listening and sharing and being respectful. it takes bravery, it takes effort. It's not that easy. So invest your personal time in understanding and learning how can you achieve this. Not convinced why? Well, it's not only a matter of being agile, DevOps, or just being trustworthy. It's a question of survival. So Charles Darwin said that only the ones that learn how to collaborate prevailed, and we really need to learn how to collaborate. Okay, thank you all for listening. And before getting to the question and answerings, well, I've added to this presentation some books recommendation that inspire me today. Also, if you want to share books, articles, or people to follow about collaboration, please feel free to add it in the chat. Well, I haven't found yet a specific book about collaboration. So if you know one and if you read it and like it, please let me know. And maybe I will write one someday. I don't know. I really love this topic, and I hope that this talk would bring you more insights and open your minds to collaboration. So thanks, and let's practice a little bit and share with me your questions during the Q&A. And here are the books that you can see in that have some topics about this about collaboration, visibility, and DevOps. So if you haven't read it, I really recommend you do it. And thank you. Let's go to Q&A.
Right, Sophia, that was an awesome talk.
Thank you, Tony.
Of course. So I see here that we have quite a lot of responses on the poll. So in the poll of your presentation, we asked, do you think your team has a collaborative mindset? And we received about 82 responses saying yes.
Great.
And only 17 saying no. So what do you think about these results?
Oh, this is great news. I'm glad that most of the people that were here attending feel that they work in a collaborative environment, because this means that they are working in very successful teams, because not only successful teams can achieve collaboration. But I hope that my presentation could give more tips on those teams and how to be even more collaborative. And let's see what kind of questions we have regarding this.
Yes, I'm sure that after everyone watches your presentation, we can get to 100. Yeah, let's jump into some questions. So we have a question here from Stefan that asks, what's a good way to sell a quality approach to upper management? How do you explain the ROI of this? What do you think?
Yeah, I understand the question. As it's quite difficult to explain something or to sell something that you don't have specific number with that. So you can not demonstrate exactly what kind of improvement the company has achieved regarding quality. But what you can do is you can talk about successful teams that implemented this kind of approaches and how they improve their quality, their sales, their team as a whole, because it's not only about bringing or improving the ROI, but it's also bringing more value, as Sergio talked in the previous talk. And I think that if you go for that kind of examples and show them how others do it and what kind of results they achieve, maybe you could have a chance to sell quality to management.
Right, right. So it's really having some use cases to be able to show the value of that and being able to show that. So let's jump into another question here. So we have an anonymous asking if you can give an example of how you were able to increase visibility and increase team productivity personally in your teams and in the past experience.
Yes, well, as I mentioned during the presentation, I worked as an Atlassian consultant for at least 5 years, I guess. And one of the big challenges was always around visibility. So teams needed to use or wanted to use Jira to increase that visibility. And one of the funniest stories that I have is regarding an implementation of Jira. In an hotel management company. So they were working mostly with email or and spreadsheets and all the tools around that. And when we finished the implementation of Jira and we put dashboards live, it was like a tremendous shock on the amount of work, but also the team come together to help one another's and to improve the way they were working and changing the way they were working to be more effective, so more productive. And I think that's a really interesting story on how a simple thing like a dashboard can improve the way your work is done and improve your team's productivity.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks for giving us that example. And we also have another question here, which is more closely related to Xray. And it asks, what do you think is Xray's superpower to promote visibility?
Well, yeah. So Xray, I think, has a very simple but effective superpower. That is the fact that it's inside Jira. So your team, you as a tester, can collaborate with developers, with the product owner, with business stakeholders, in order to show them how things are going. So you can exchange comments. You can, for example, ask someone from the product team to take a look on your test cases, for example, if you are doing manual testing, and see if you are getting what the story is trying to cover. And that kind of visibility and collaboration that it's possible because you are inside the same tool is something that is super, super powerful.
Right. Yeah, it's that integration with Jira that's undeniable. And I think that's all the questions we have, but I do have a personal question, more about the books that you were talking about. And I wanted to ask you what has been some of your favorite books regards to collaboration and visibility that you've been reading lately that you find really useful.
Well, as I said, I haven't found yet a specific book about collaboration. If
Mm-hmm.
someone knows one and wants to share it, please do it. I'm trying to find it for a long time. But I think that when you read the Phoenix Project, that it's all the novel about DevOps, you can see what is the impact on a team of the small changes that you can do. And because it's a novel and because it's so interesting, I think that's one of my favorite books ever. And I definitely recommend it if you are trying to understand what is DevOps and how you can implement or change the culture to a DevOps culture inside your team.
Right, right. I think it's very interesting that it's in the novel format and not just like a traditional nonfiction book. So that's really great. And I think this is a perfect place to wrap up the Q&A.
Thank
Sophia,
you,
thank you
Tony.
very much.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll catch you at the roundtable discussion. Thanks so
Yeah,
much,
see you
everyone.
there. Thank you.
Bye.